Hello and welcome to Season 2 of the Road End podcast. Each episode we will speak to a new guest, get to know them and hear their stories about Liverpool Football Club.
Hi everyone and welcome to Season 2 of the Road End podcast. Today I'm joined by former Red Sean Highdale. Sean joined the Reds at the age of 9 and worked his way through the ranks to become captain of the under-18s. Thanks for joining, mate. How are you?
I'm not too bad, mate. How are you?
Good, yeah. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Privilege, mate. Thank you for asking me.
No problem at all. So let's start with when you joined the club. So you joined at 9 and I've seen that you've been scouted for a while. So where was you at the time?
Yeah, so funny enough, mate, I was at a team called Huntswood, which was kind of like a cross between Hunts Cross and Halewood. Obviously, that's around where I'm from. So I was playing for them. As a kid, I got asked to go up to Madder Avenue, which is where they were kind of doing the scouting system type of thing. And then I must have been about 7, 8. And then when it comes to the time where you either get picked to go, basically to the nines officially with Liverpool or get let go, I actually got let go. I didn't get picked by Liverpool at this point. So I left there and went back playing obviously on Huntswood and started playing for Country Park. It was at the time quite a well-known team. I think since Alexander-Arnold and I played there and stuff. So I think I went back there, started playing Saturday and Sundays. And then within a few months, mate, they come back and basically said, we made a mistake type of thing. Can you come back up for like a 6-week trial? And I think I'd done a couple of weeks. And then they said, yeah, we want you on board type of thing. So yeah, signed officially with Liverpool at the age of 9.
When you were signing, you're 9 years of age. How does it feel when it's official?
Yeah, I always remember me mum and dad kind of telling me, and I remember jumping over the back of the couch, a bit of a somersault type of thing. Because as you say, it's me. I've loved the club since I was born. Obviously, it runs right through the family. My dad's in Madrid, gone to games since I can remember. So obviously, to get told you're going to play for Liverpool at that age is, it's overwhelming, and I was made up.
You're part of the age group. Fair to say the squad was ridiculous. Who stood out?
Well, as in when I grew up and all that as well?
Yeah, so you're going through, obviously, the age groups from the 9s to the 18s.
Yeah.
I'd imagine it's a similar crop once you get to 14, 15. So who stood out once you hit that age?
When I started getting a bit older, obviously, you start bringing players in from Denmark and Germany and Sweden and stuff like that. So it starts getting a lot tougher. But you know what? I always rated Nathan Eccleston highly. I just feel like I always thought when he was on his game, he was unstoppable. His feet and his skill, and it's quite strong as well for a lad who's not very big. So I always rated him highly. But then obviously you had the likes of Martin Kelly as well. The likes of Martin Kelly, you just knew he was going to make it. If you know what I mean. He was a man at 15. Obviously the way the age groups work at Liverpool back then, I don't know if it's the same now. Was obviously 1 year you play with the lads younger than you, and then the next year you play with the lads older than you. So obviously 1 year I'd be playing with the likes of Martin Kelly and that. And then next year you would be playing with, the younger lads. But yeah, as I say, I think in my actual own age group, I'd probably pick out Nathan Eccleston. There was a lad called Stephen Irwin who basically me and him were the only two who went from 9 to 18s. Everyone else come and gone. Obviously, it's a tough industry to make it in. And me and Stephen were the only ones who basically went all the way through together. So yeah, but technical wise, I'd say Nathan Eccleston, but someone who just knew had it to make it was Mark Kelly.
Did Nathan come from United?
I think he came from Bury.
Bury?
Yeah, they bought him off Bury. Obviously he was a United fan and that, but yeah, they got him from Bury. That must have been at around 15s, I'd have said, 15, 16.
Yeah, I remember watching at the academy. He couldn't have finished, couldn't he?
Yeah, no, honestly, as I say, when he was on the game and his attitude was right and he was up for it, he was some player.
He played in a Victory Shield as well for England. With I think I've seen Jack Wilshere was in that squad when he was playing in that team. How was he at youth level?
Again, mate, so obviously at that moment you don't know who they are. Obviously, you hear little snippets of this kid from Arsenal who's coming up or whoever it may be. So obviously we had the training camp. I think there was 2 or 3 of us went from Liverpool. But yeah, honestly, as I say, when you just come home and you want to see this kid who plays for Arsenal, I got paired up with him, and it was a kind of a 1v1 type of thing. You've got to get a ball off him, and then he's got to get the ball off you. And honestly, he was younger than me, so I think he was about 14, 15, and his legs were just like tree trunks anyway at that age. He was just he was another level. Lucky enough to play with him in that game. So from the camp, I obviously got picked to play against Northern Ireland, which was our first. Oh, sorry, no, what's that a lie? We played Wales first, and I never got in the squad for the Welsh game. But then I got in the squad for the second game, which was Northern Ireland. And I was lucky enough to start as well, centre mid with Jack Wilshere. Yeah, as I say, he was just another level. But then I think, by all accounts, he went on to have a car accident or an injury or something. So I never ever got to play with him again. But yeah, as I say, he's just like, you can just tell from then he's going to make it. He's going to be a top player.
From your academy days, obviously it was inevitable that he was going to, from me, that's just as a fan, you could see he was going to take the next step up at Melwood with, I'd say, I thought a few more would have, there's on the same. Yeah. Who broke the news to you that he was going up there permanent?
So, do you know what, to be honest with you, because it's been a little while since I've done a podcast, it's mad, and obviously you just forget little things, so I had a little listen to one of my podcasts that I'd done a little while back just to, and the bit that I actually fast forwarded to was this part, and yeah, so basically the day before my accident, we had a match, I think it was against Derby or someone like that, and me, Stephen and Nathan got called in by Highway or Macaulay or someone. And yeah, we basically got told, like, at the end of the season, you three are going up with the reserves to basically be full-time at Melwood and that. So, yeah, I again went into the game, high as a kite, played well. Just knowing that, like, every day you're going to be going to Melwood and just, like, being around the first team, obviously, whether it's training or seeing them in the building, it's just, like, it's what you, when you join when you're 9, it's what you're striving to do, you know what I mean? So yeah, that was good to get that news.
And obviously, for anyone who doesn't know, I can't believe this myself. The day after you hear this, you have an accident, a car accident, being a passenger. You lost 2 of your friends, and am I right in saying one's in care?
Yeah, he's still in the coma now, mate. Yeah, mad. 15 years. Crazy.
Unbelievable. A bleed on the brain, a broken neck, 4 main ligaments in your knee snapped, and you removed a kidney, as well as being in a coma. I've got no idea how you went on to play football, but how did you recover? Like, obviously physicals with rehab and things, but mentally that must have been more.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's a tough one to explain. I'd obviously you get the cliche of your family and all that, which is obviously right. But Liverpool played a massive part in it. You know, got the top doctors, got the top specialists, was going to London all the time and Manchester to see the top people. So that all helped. But mentally, I just feel like I was just focused on, like, again, wanting to get back. Like, I'm not shy of a challenge. And straight away, they kind of said, listen, don't even think about football. It's not going to happen. You know, let's just get you back living your day-to-day life where you can go for walks and, you know, jogs and go to the gym and stuff like that. So I just seen that as a challenge type of thing. Even when the specialist told me that, I just thought, there's no way that's the way it's going to go. So then, yeah, just kind of went from strength to strength. Obviously, the physios said, right, okay, we'll try this now. And then it could be like a little go on the bike. Yeah, sound. Next minute, try this. And I was just smashing every hurdle that they kind of put in front of me. And then, yeah, 2 years later, before I knew it, got the all clear to get back in with the team and start training again. By this point, obviously, my team had all moved on. So I had to stay behind and was obviously joined up with the likes of John Flanagan and players like them. So I was joining in with training with them. Connor Cody, obviously, he's gone on to do very well now. So obviously, it started off just that could only be the floater. You can't tackle Sean type of thing. But then, yeah, again, just gradually more confidence grew into training and stuff like that. And then, yeah, got put on the team sheet. I think we played Chester or Wrexham in a friendly. And yeah, my name was on the board, which is a massive, you know, accomplishment for me, really.
How did you feel on that day? So obviously you've been in the training and things like that, but competitive's a totally different game, innit? So when you seen your name on there, was it emotional?
It was an emotional roller coaster, let me tell you, because obviously, again, the whole academy had changed. Highway had gone, Dave Shannon had gone, Ewan Macaulay had gone, and he brought in the likes of Rodolfo Barello and coaches like them. Now, obviously, he'd never seen me play. He'd never had that relationship with me like I had with Dave Shannon and people like that. So he didn't really give me the time of day, to be honest with you. So obviously, the physios had pushed for me to start to play a part in this certain game. So anyway, going to changes, everyone's hugging me and all that. So anyway, Rodolfo calls me in his office. So I go in and all happy, and he says, listen, basically, he says, I'm only playing you because the physios have begged me to. He said, I'd rather play, and I remember the players, Craig Rodden, who's actually my mate now, he said, I'd rather play Craig Rodden 90 than give you 20, something like that. Yeah, so as you can fully imagine, I'm not as great as admiring. Obviously now he's doing well under Guardiola, and I always have a laugh at Flan and Matty and them, like when he comes on the screen, because I obviously don't like him, but they like them. But yeah, so that day was a massive, emotional roller coaster. But I don't even know how someone, a normal person, could even just say something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's something that I've been, and this took me 2 years, by the way, to get back fit. It took me a long time. So yeah, he just absolutely ruined my moment. Like,
God. So that's through me. That I can't believe he said that to you.
Makes sense, but anyway, it is what it is, isn't it?
I've seen you represent Team GB in Brazil in the Paralympics. Yeah. That's obviously. Did they put that down to as a cerebral palsy?
Yeah. So how that came about was I was in my mum's kitchen where I am at right now. Funny enough, and I got an email from this guy called Jeff Davis. Basically just saying, obviously we've read about you online and we know everything what's happened to you, but basically it's spent a few days in a coma, and now like 90% or whatever, when someone goes in a coma for that long, they end up with this, some sort of cerebral palsy. So would you mind coming down to St. George's Park, letting us have a little look at you and stuff like that? So why not? You know what I mean? So obviously told me mum and that, thought why not? So yeah, so I went down to St. George's Park. This is England at the time, just England. So I've gone down, seen the doctors and all that, and yeah, they were kind of like telling me to do certain things that, like, obviously you don't do day to day. For example, he was moving his finger like that, and I had to touch my nose and touch his finger, and I couldn't do it. It was mad. So I was thinking, wow, what's going on here? And he was like, well, that's part of your brain's not working. You know what I mean? So anyway, like, and fast forward, I had a little signs of it. So he said, we want you to keep coming down. So kept going down to training and stuff like that. And then yeah, like the Paralympics was coming about. So that's where Team GB gets formed. Then obviously you've got Scotland and you've got Northern Ireland and all stuff like that who come and join. And yeah, got picked for that. So went to Brazil, mate. Yeah, 2016. Unbelievable experience.
How did you just get on?
Yeah, I think we came fifth or fourth or fifth. I can't remember, but I think because obviously you've got the likes of Ukraine and Russia now. Obviously with that big bomb thing, what happened days ago, where a lot of people are born disabled and that. When we drawn them, all the lads were like, oh no, we've got Ukraine in the group, and I was thinking, like, surely he'd be all right. But honest to God, mate, I was playing against the lads since he had one arm and that. I couldn't get near him. He was unbelievable. Honest, he was that good. Now I think they pile a lot of money into that though, so I think they're full time, so they get paid and stuff. They train every day, where we used to meet up once a month for a weekend. So I think we were never ever on level with them in terms of quality. And I think that fourth where we finished was the highest that Great Britain's ever finished in a Paralympic tournament. So which was good. But yeah, when you come against Ukraine and Russia and Brazil, honestly, mate, we played Brazil on our opening game, obviously to set the tournament up. There was about 14,000 people there.
Wow.
The experience was unbelievable. But again, they were a very good side. So I think we got beat 2-1 that game.
And is that 7-a-side?
Yeah, 7-a-side. Honestly, it's mad. Obviously, there's no offsides, but every player gets a number. Basically, a number 5 is how effective they are with the disability, and number 8 is how least effective they are. So I just crept in and got an 8. But obviously, the rules are you can only play 1 8 at a time. You can't play 2. What they were doing was, they're Ukrainians. They had like a 6, and he was definitely an 8. Do you know what I mean? So they had like 2 6s, a 7, and they were just, all of them were just like 8. So, but yeah, it was 7-a-side, no offsides. The pitch was pretty big, so it was physically demanding, but it was good. Really, really enjoyed it.
It's something you don't hear of, isn't it? So I just thought I'd ask about that.
Yeah. I've never even watched it. Didn't even know it was a thing myself. Honestly, like, obviously you see the Olympics and Paralympics, but I'd never ever seen football involved in it. But obviously you spent more time you spend with the team, and that it was in 2012 London Paralympics. But yeah, no, as I say, it was great. Most thing I can say from that is what a like experience of life and how people live still with disabilities and stuff. It was a proper eye opener, just watching how they get on in life. And you know what, like, they're happier than anyone at, any of us. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just mad. But yeah, it was a great experience.
I was going to ask you about that because obviously let's just say the stuff you've been through, it takes someone strong to come out the other end of it, mate. So, fair play to that, because there's people who've been through less that don't come out the other side. So with family and stuff, it's massively important that you stay in touch with that, isn't it? So do you ever look back on any of it, or do you always look forward?
No, obviously, like, people ask me all the time, like, do you miss playing and stuff? And it's a silly question. Obviously, I miss playing at that standard. I went on from Liverpool. Obviously, I had to move on. I wasn't physically able to carry on with the lads. So they sent me out on loan to Oldham, and again, my knee was knackered. I just couldn't keep up with the lads. Went down lower, Huddersfield, MK Dons, Accrington Stanley. Just kept going lower. I don't miss that, if you know what I mean. But the Liverpool days, I miss it massively. And then obviously you get people asking you, do you reckon you would have made it, and stuff like that, all the questions type of thing. But no, I do miss it.
You got your fingers in many pies now. Obviously, I won't go into too much detail on what they are in a business sense. So how are you finding this side of life then? Because obviously when you're 18, you're probably thinking long term. You're just going to be playing football day in, day out. But business side of things, how's that?
Good, mates. Yeah, it's tough. Obviously, I got involved when, COVID wasn't too far away, and Brexit and all that stuff. And obviously, I went into, development type of things first with, buying land, building apartments, stuff like that. So obviously that didn't help, but still cracking on and doing all right, enjoying it, kind of learning on the job with my partner and sharing meetings with different people and stuff like that. So no, I'm enjoying it. As you say, it's not something that I thought I would have been doing, but life comes at you fast, and when you're not getting no money from somewhere, at the time I had to kind of get myself in work, and then it showed me a different side of life. You get protected when you're growing up with Liverpool. Your clothes washed, your boots washed, whatever. My mum's doing the same. Come to a point where he had to swallow my pride and go and get a job and make some money. So I'm happy in a way, because it showed me both sides of life.
Yeah.
But no, as I say, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying learning and stuff like that, and it's something I'm going to and want to do for a long time now. So I'm going to have a nice life.
Good. So Liverpool at the minute, I don't know how much you're watching. I don't know how much you're involved and things like that, but going through a bit of a mad time, aren't we? What's your thoughts?
Yeah. Obviously, injuries don't help, mate. We've got 5 of starters. You've got Diaz, Firmino, Van Dijk, people like that injured. But I feel like we've missed the boat. We missed the boat on rebuilding back when we won the Premier. That's when we should have went bang, like, let's rebuild now. Obviously, the lads have done brilliant for 4 or 5 years, but they're worn out, aren't they? Like Henderson, Fabinho, players like that. If you look at that, they've been in there for 5 years, every single game, giving it 100%. I feel like we should have rebuilt then when we were strong. There's not a player in the world who wouldn't have wanted to play for Liverpool at that time. Play under Klopp. We should have built on that then. I've seen an interview with Guardiola a while back, and they say, what's the ingredients of success type of thing, and he says, you've got to keep revolving, keep changing every 2 years or something, he says. And I feel like that's just what we didn't do, Don't get me wrong, obviously we're going to get out of it, but it's tough at the minute, innit? Like, that's mad. Mad how you, just like as you say, go from last year, challenging for everything, we're all going to Wembley and all that, you know what I mean, to this year, it's just like, no one even wants to get on the ball, there's no confidence, obviously Salah's not on it, you just think, what's going on here in the last 6 months, you know what I mean? It's just like, what's changed?
It kind of feels like we've stood still, doesn't it? When everyone else around us seems to be building and improving.
Exactly, mate. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what we've done.
We are now going to do a quick fire round with our guests. This could be very controversial.
I'll finish with a quick fire round. There's not too much into it. There's a few questions. You've just got to be on the spot. So, club or country?
Club.
Let's go. So you're going to say club. Jay Spearing or Sean Highdale?
In what respect?
On the pitch?
Yeah, I'm going to say me.
Original Preds or the new style Preds?
Original all day. We don't want the little the elastic thing that go over your boots.
Brilliant. That. I was heartbroken when mine snapped.
I just used to have to like decide, do I want to put it like the elastic right in the middle, or do I want to put it like 3/4? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I used to have that little thing before matches and that.
The problems we had when we were kids.
I said, I don't know.
And if you could compare yourself to a player, modern day, who would it be?
Modern day. Yeah, it's a tough one, yeah. I don't really know, to be fair. Obviously, back in the day, I probably would have liked like a kind of Mascherano type of player who gets himself about him. You know, obviously not shy away from a tackle, not bad on the ball and that. So yeah, back in the day, Mascherano. Nowadays, I don't really know because they don't really have. It's obviously what your box of boxes like with Jude Bellingham, but he's obviously scary. But you still have your position though. You know, they've gone a lot. Everyone's gone to kind of a sitting now.
Yeah.
Don't really. When I was there, it was like a 2, a 6, and an 8 centre mids. Times have changed, haven't they? So I don't really know at the minute. But yeah, Mascherano back in the day is you kind of like to look up to type of thing.
Okay, so last one. You've got to start, bench, or sell. Suarez, Torres, and Salah.
That is a tough one, that. It's an hard one. Obviously, it's an hard one between Suarez and Salah to start because Suarez is just unbelievable. But Salah's goal ratio for the last 3 or 4 years is just ridiculous as well, isn't it?
Yeah, mad.
I'll go from what I'd like to watch. Obviously, I'd go Suarez first, Salah, bench, and then sell Torres.
Nice.
All right.
Just because of what he's done.
Yeah, honestly, that's a tough one, to be fair, that means. Suarez just, you'd watch him and go, wow, how's he just done that? But like, he'd like it's like he kicked balls off people, but it's like he meant it because he'd done it all the time, if you know what I mean. Like, first few times, he'd be always lucky there. But like, he was doing it all the time. It's just like, you know what I mean?
The nutmegs as well.
The nutmeg king, yeah. As I say, Salah's just sensational, the way he can just finish and stuff like that. But some of the things you used to watch Suarez do was just like mind-blowing. So yeah, let's go with Suarez.
Did you ever get a chance to see him train?
Yeah, I didn't, mate. No, obviously, again, like, times changed. And when I was at the academy, it was kind of, that's the academy and that's Melwood. There's no mixing type of thing. Where now, from what I can see, there's a lot of mixing and a lot of young lads get the chance to go up and experience that, which I fully think should happen. Because if I would have got the chance to go and play with the first team, say, or team, my head would have, as Morgo said, I would have been thinking, oh my God, like, so my head would have fell off, like Morgo said on his podcast, where if you kind of get integrated into them slowly, it becomes a norm then.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm guessing all the first team lads, like Morgo said again, Carrigan and all that, you build relationships up with them then. So the more you see them and get on, the less you'd feel more pressure when you're going to play. So, but no, to the answer to your questions, I never ever got to train with the lads or nothing like that, no.
Okay, well, let's call it a pod there, Sean.
Yeah, no, mate.
Thanks for your time today, mate. I appreciate it. And, you know, I don't really like asking tough questions and going over people's past on certain things, but I appreciate your honesty on it, mate.
No, you're more than welcome, mate. No problem at all.
And I wish you all the luck with your business side of things. And
thank you, mate. And I'll keep following your podcast as well. Keep having a listen. Cheers, mate. All the best.
Catch you soon.
Thanks to everyone for listening in to today's podcast, and thank you to our amazing guests. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. Don't forget to follow us on social media, twitter.com/The Road End Pod, and on Instagram, Instagram/The Road End Pod.